Alright gang, so here we go with a new custom video and a new custom project for me, which I'm very excited for. So, in front of me, I have the two SH Figuarts Time Patrol figures, which I got for a very low price, because they were both used, and so, I got them to see how they would be, and I wasn't too happy with them, so instead of selling them off again, I decided that I would do something that everyone on the internet has already done, is to merge these two figures in to get the Dragon Ball Super Future Trunks. And along the way, I'm not only going to be making future Trunks, but I'm also going to show you how to make the 2.0 Trunks that everyone has, and even a little quick something kind of extra, but not really necessary. I just think it looks cool in my opinion. So for starters, as you can see, I put on the Time Patroller head onto the Trunks body, just because I didn't want to throw away this body just its box and then never again be seen. I do have it with the time scroll there. This is a really neat accessory. Both heads swap each other perfectly. Since I'm going to display the Time Patroller, I've been thinking on customizing it by removing this skirt, maybe changing its pants, but I think for the majority of the time I might just leave the Time Patroller as is. Come on, focus. Come on. There we go. So, we're going to set him off aside a bit. So here's the future Trunks, or Trunks as it is right now. This is how I have it. The heads swap on perfectly. There is no problem with it. It looks nice. The joint in there is really sturdy. So I'm going to show you what you have to do to get this guy looking nice, because obviously he has a humongous hole in here for the back of his cape. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to resculpt the entire piece here, fix up his head, and change his boots. Now here's where one of the little small things I thought would be really cool. With the spare Time Patroller boots, since I didn't want to just throw them out, what I did was I actually have removed the premium color boots and placed these ones on it. It's a very small little custom, but over here I have his original boots, but I did not like these boots. They were too small. They were off colored a bit in my opinion. So to give him these new boots, I think it looks way better. You do have to do some things to get it right, but at the end of the video I'll add a little clip as to how I did this, because it's a very small thing, and if you like it, you do it. If you don't, no problem. But I did this to Trunks. In my opinion, he looks better. So yeah, that's what I did with the spare boots, and I'll show you again at the end of this tutorial on how to do this. So moving on with stripping this guy apart. To pop off his boots is very simple. What you want to do is you just want to take, come on, focus. Really? Come on. There we go. So you want to take the boot and you just kind of want to pull it down. There is a bit of glue on it, not much. Those are what the pegs look like. Again, you just want to pull them down and they'll come off clean. You might leave a bit of stress marks on it, but nothing too bad. That's the first thing you want to do. I have gone ahead and already started the custom work by a tiny bit. I've given him the boots. So these are the boots I'm going to use. If you guys are wondering where I got these boots, it's from the bootleg Super Saiyan God Goku I owned before. I don't know if you guys remember that, but all I did was I just created the shade of green by adding green and yellow and applying everything to even this back piece. As you can see, it's not really perfect, but I'll go back on it and touch it up once everything's complete. You do want to leave this black, and you do want to leave this gray bit there. You do want to paint over that though. So that's the one thing I have done ahead of time, but nothing too severe, nothing too dangerously out of this place. So like I said, you just want to repaint the boots and have them ready. So here's what my plan is. He has this kind of like, you can even see it, he has like this kind of like triangle thing going on at the bottom here. So my plan is to use a hairdryer, heat up this part, and then with my X-Acto blade just kind of cut it up, and then with the hole on the peg create a little hole in there, and then that should just like pop in like so, because as it is right now, it's too tall for him and it looks kind of awkward, so we want to just get rid of that. But before we do that, I want to show you something else. Go ahead and pop off the head here. This piece right here. A lot of people don't show what's under this piece, and I'm about to tell you because what I found under this piece is really surprising. Coming under here, you have two little grooves in here. I have actually removed one perfectly. If you can see that. I have removed one perfectly, but the other one I snapped off. No matter though. So once you do that, you just want to pull it forward and it pops off. This is what it looks like underneath. I know. It's rather surprising. There is an underside to this piece right here. Now, if you were to create the 2.0 trunks, this is where the 2.0 trunks would be. What you would do is that also this piece right here, it is a separate piece that just pops off. So to create a 2.0 trunks, what you would want to do is I cut this off, and I would maybe say like heat it up, or with a file it down, or sandpaper, file it down. Come over to this piece and cut up the jacket into the perfect shape. Then glue back on that. Obviously paint the undershirt black. Come over here and heat this up, because this does come off. I just haven't taken it off, but you would heat this up and remove I'm forgetting what this is called, but this piece, the blue piece, and then just gluing it on here, and then that would be basically it. You know, you would obviously not remove his boots, and then you would just pop on heads. So that's how you would get a 2.0 future trunks. You would just file this or sand this down, cut up the shirt, paint the undershirt black, come over to this piece, hot or hair dry this piece off, and then glue it on. And then I would suggest cover up this back piece, but you don't have to, because the sword could cover it up. But then, you know, if you really want to, I'd say cover that up. It's kind of hideous. And then obviously cut these pieces off. And then that's how you would get your 2.0 future trunks. But that's how you would do the 2.0 future trunks. But I'm here to do the Dragon Ball Super future trunks. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to resculpt all of this. I'm going to remove this. I'm not planning to keep that on. I'm going to cut this off, and then I'm going to mold the body into one piece. So what I mean by that is obviously paint over or sculpt over this and just paint a whole new torso, or create a whole new torso piece. So this ab feature would no longer work, but I'm alright with that, because it would all just be one solid piece, and I'll sculpt and I'll show you how it looks step by step. And you could add the tear and fold here and here. Well, it would be kind of like up here, but I don't know if I want to do that or not. I think I might just leave it like that. But so the first step is we're going to do the boots. So I'm going to heat this up, cut it away, and glue on the boots, and then I'll come back to you guys. So just hold on a second. Alright, so a quick update on what I've done. This is what I was talking about when I said remove the panels. If you still know what I'm talking about, I meant these little hills over here. I've also cut off the tops of the boots, I don't know if you can see that, just to leave them more flat, and I've also kind of drilled a bit into the actual sockets. And I've also swapped out the necks from the Time Patroller trunks onto this body, because he has a green undersuit in the actual anime. So now I'm going to use some crazy glue and fuse the boots to the pants. So I'll be right back. Okay, so here's Trunks now with his boots. As you can see, they came out rather nice. Obviously, I still have to go around and give them their final layout of paint, because it is kind of scrubbing off a bit there, a bit back there. I also removed this piece, and the one thing I did add was Trunks kind of has that like messy hair going, and so I cut out the Super Saiyan strands and left the Super Saiyan hair, sorry about that, looking like this. For those of you wondering, that is anime accurate. Trunks does not have strands. His hair does kind of curve down a bit, but I don't think I can achieve this with this. I might, but how I would do it is I would have to cut a new line there, and then pull that down. But I don't know if I will do that or not. But so Trunks is coming on. This was a tedious process. I don't know if you guys can see the glue on it, but I'm scared to touch it just because I know if I do it'll unmorph again, but God, I like the way it looks now though. I kind of did it as best as I could. Once I repaint his hair, it'll look far better. But the next step to Trunks is I've cut out a piece of white cloth. I don't know the material of this cloth. It isn't soft and it's rather hard. But with this, I'm going to cut out the shape of his scarf, paint it red, and prime it with Mod Podge matte. And then because of the prime, it will be very hard and it'll keep position. And then I'll just wait till the very end to pop this on, and then after that we really just have to, I also kind of sanded that down a bit too. So the next step in the process would be to do the scarf and then to mold the torso. And after I've molded the torso, I can pop on his scarf, and then all that would be left would be to do his sword. And yeah, so right now I'm going to cut out the shape of this and paint it red, and I'll show you how that looks in a bit. Alright gang, so we're coming up to the end of the hours for me here. You know, sun's going down now and there's not much I can do but let this figure cure and wait patiently. So what I have left to do is, the head is, or the Super Saiyan head now, if it can focus, come on, is the head's done, the Super Saiyan head. I could paint it and remove the pupils and make it the Rage Super Saiyan, but just leave it like that. As for the sword, the sword we have to repaint the majority. Come on, we have to paint the majority of it because we have to paint this part and this part silver, like a dark silver, and then the wrap we have to paint it a brown. And we have to do that for this one and the half one that goes in the sheath. So we have that to do. And then coming onto the figure over here itself, this is where it's at right now. I have added the scarf to it, and I've also sculpted the suit under. I don't know if you can really tell, but right now it's left to cure. I tried my best with it. You know, tomorrow I'm gonna paint it the whole jacket blue again. I did not sculpt over this muscle articulation point, so I still have that rotation right there. I'm gonna paint it the correct blue, and then I'm gonna, with like dark washes, I'm gonna get in between the lines I've made for it, and then paint the rivets, just to make the suit pop a bit more, or the jacket. In my opinion, it didn't come out too bad. Unlike my Warrior Awakens custom, now that was not that good. Come tomorrow, I also have to paint the hair, and then fix into these colors there, and then I have to do the whole sheath here. With the whole strap, I have to cut that off, which hopefully it lets me do it. If not, I'll just leave it there. And then turning around on the back here, I have to get rid of this thing and I have to repaint it all. Especially if I have to get rid of this, I might just sand this down, paint over it. I obviously had some more sculpting on the back here. And once all of that's done, I can just kind of go back and just redo the green maybe. I'm not going to add the tear here or the tear here. That's a little too much for me. But once I've repainted the hair and done the jacket, the future Trunks shall be complete. So the next part of my video here will be showing off the final result of Trunks. And just for a comparison for you guys, here is the premium Trunks side by side with each other. It's just to get the little height difference or a size comparison for you guys. The hair is actually different, and this hair works more for the Dragon Ball Super look. Oh, that's kind of cool. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this so far, and I'll show you guys then once it's done.